Okay. What are the points we have covered last lecture? If any doubt, let me know. Basically, we have started with the model concept where we have covered the object model. We have tried to understand what is object, how to represent the object. Then we have focused on class, what is class, how to represent the class in UML. Then different parts of the class, like classes having the three compartments like class name, attributes, operations. Then we have studied basic idea about the relationship once, because whenever you are going to represent either maybe your object diagram or a class diagram, so we have to show the relationship among that entities. That relationship basically we can say either as an association or with its a part of association. So that now we are going to discuss in detail. If I am going to say as a simple association, so simple association in the sense it is a simple semantic relationship that specifies the relationship among the different entities of the specifiers. We have discussed these different examples: class, then object diagram, where we have discussed class diagram, instance diagram. This is what the class, how to represent the class. Simple rectangle. This represents your class name. This represents attributes. Attributes nothing but named property of the class that represent that class with some properties. So class car having a color specifications. Then operations, how your car act and react. We call it as an operations, or sometimes we call it as a behavior also. And in technical language, we will call it as, these are nothing but the methods that class is going to work. This is instance diagram. It describes particular set of objects related to each others. It describes simply an object. So whatever the class collection of different objects. So this represents a simple instance diagram. Attributes, just now we have discussed. These are the named properties of the particular class. Second part of the class we call operations, or nothing but behavior, or nothing but methods. Then we have discussed basic idea about the association. So association is simple semantic relationship. As I told you, the difference between link and association. Dictionary meaning, if you consider, both are same. But in as a designer's perspective, we will call it as association. While in developer's perspective, we will simply call it as one link. Link is just meaningful communication, or it is kind of a style that the data exchange or the flow will travel from one point to another points. So we are calling simply as a links. Sample class diagram we have discussed last lecture. Then we have discussed association, no arrow bidirectional, arrow unidirectional, types of association relationship, one to one, many to many, and ternary association. One to one, I told you to remember a simple example that country has capital. So country is exactly one to one association relationship. My screen is visible. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you, Pooja. Then next we have discussed many to many association, where I told you to remember a simple example, points, collection of points to prepare the lines. So there may be different, again, points. So simple remember to discuss about the association, type of association, many to many. Then we have discussed ternary association, that is talking about the more than two different elements that are associated with single entity. So we are represented it with ternary association. Then multiplicity we were discussing. Multiplicity, as the name suggests, multi, more than one, but we have to specify it with exact number. so that specification can be done like this. So simple relationship I'm trying to show you. Company as a one class, employee. So for one company, there may be more than one employee, but for one employee, we'll be having exactly one company at a time. So it represents exactly one. This is 0 dot dot 1, 0 or more. That particular star indicates many. This is 0 or many. This is 1 or many. We will discuss it in one more simple style. See here. Remember this. There's no arrow unidirectionals. Bidirectional, sorry. This represent exactly one. This is 0 or more because this star dot dot, not single dot, two dots, continuous two dots. This is one or more. This is directly multi, many, unlimited. We can't count. So it is represented directly with the star mark. One dot dot star, one or more. This is 0 or 1. It specifies the exact range, 2 or 4. This 2, maybe 2 or maybe 4 to 6. This is multiplicity. So suppose you want to represent the relationship between car and it's a door. So for one car, there may be 4 doors, 1 to 4. Or sometimes it may be having only 2 doors, like that. It is depending, disjoints. In that case, you can use this disjoint range. Now we are discussing again the next part called as what? Link attributes. So what it indicates? So an link attribute is a property of the link in an association. So just simple. Now this line indicates here the relationship, but we will simply call this as an link and will be accessed by this access permissions. So we are calling it as what? Link attributes, in which properties you could able to access the data. For example, user can access the particular file. To assign this, we need to give some semantics. Semantics means some rules, regulations. So this particular user may able to access the file with full rights, maybe edit, copy paste, delete, all the rights we can able to give to the users. So that will be decided by the link attributes. So that attributes decides what kind of access that particular user is having. Means if I consider a simple college as a one class, and college has different users like student, then staff and management. So that, or we can say simply principal, sir. So they are having different rights. As a staff, we are having different rights, and as a student, you are having the different right. Object is same, class is the same, but different users are there, and different users are having different relationship. That will be decided by this link attributes. So for example, in case of our this file option, maybe having only read permission, maybe having permission of read write permission. So for that, we may have many to many associations. Now, one more type of association or basic relationship, it is called as what? Aggregation. Now, it indicates it is a part of relationship. Remember this. It is a part of relationship means, suppose part of relationship I want to show you that you can represent it in two styles. Let's take one simple example. I'll show you. I'll show you one simple way. I'm using one software for the same. What is that software and how to use that software? That part we will discuss in upcoming slides. At this moment, just concentrate. This is one software. How to use this software, this parts I will show you in upcoming practicals. At this moment, just I'm showing you one class having 3 compartments. I'm giving the class name as car. So this is what my class car, class name car. This is attributes. These are operations. Attributes I will add here. How to add this part I will show you. Now there is one more class. I'm calling it as doors, and one more class I'm calling as engine. Is my screen visible properly? I hope so. Now I want to show the relationship car, doors, engine. I know that car is made up of doors, or simply we can say doors part of car. What I'm saying, doors part of car. So I want to show a one type of relationship. If I don't know the relationship, I can simply start with association. This is simple solid line association relationship. But I want to specify type of relationship. In that case, now I have two options. When I want to show is a type relationship, see what I'm saying, I want to show is a part of relationship. Now in that case, is a part of relationship, I have two options, whether I can go with aggregation or I can go with a composition. Now when to use aggregation, when to use composition, that is what I'm going to show. When the relationship between whole, this is what car is a whole and part of the car is door. Is it possible to drive the car without doors? Give me the answer. And I'm repeating my question. Is it possible to drive the car without doors? Please reply. Yes, are you there? I have asked very simple question. I want to show the relationship between whole. This is whole. This is part. Yes. Is it possible to drive the car without doors? Yes, Prashant. Very good. Thanks. We can drive the car without doors. Means the whole and part having relationship weak type. If it is weak type, we can use aggregation. So this is aggregation relationship. You can remember this. This is whole. This is part. You can remember this as a hollow diamond here. This symbol indicates a hollow diamond. I'll zoom it. See, this is hollow diamond. It indicates this relation is weaker type. So this is hollow diamond. Now my next question, is it possible to drive the car without engine? No, correct. Your answer is correct. So the relationship between whole and part is of a stronger type. We can use composition. So this is composition. This indicates the strongest relationship. We will call as a composition. So simply remember, whenever I want to show the relationship between whole and part, we can use two options. One is aggregation and second is composition. That composition, that filled diamond, we are calling it as a filled diamond. That filled diamond means the strongest relationship. Hollow diamond means weak relationship. बघा मी काय म्हणतोय, कार आणि डोअर मध्ये वीक रिलेशनशिप आहे. वीक मीन्स कमी बॉन्डिंग, म्हणजे ज्याला आपण म्हणू शकतो मॉड्यूल्स तुम्ही स्टडी केले सॉफ्टवेअर इंजिनिअरिंग मध्ये, त्या सॉफ्टवेअर इंजिनिअरिंग मॉडेल्समध्ये तुम्ही पाहिलं की डिपेंडन्सी कशी असावी मॉडेलमध्ये. त्या डिपेंडन्सीमध्ये तुम्ही स्ट्रॉंगेस्ट डिपेंडन्सी असेल किंवा लोएस्ट डिपेंडन्सी असेल, किंवा आपण त्याला काय म्हणतो, इज अ पार्ट ऑफ रिलेशनशिप. मग तो इज अ पार्ट ऑफ रिलेशनशिप आपण दाखवण्यासाठी UML मध्ये कुठलं नोटेशन यूज करू शकतो आपण. एकतर आपण ऍग्रिगेशन करू शकतो किंवा कंपोजिशन करू शकतो. मग प्रश्न येतो असा की ऍग्रिगेशन कधी करायचं आणि कंपोजिशन कधी करायचं. ऍग्रिगेशन म्हणजे काय, ज्यावेळेस दोन एंटिटीज मध्ये रिलेशन वीक टाईपचं असेल, व्हेन देअर विल बी अ रिलेशनशिप इज ऑफ वीकर टाईप, वी विल यूज दिस aggregation. And when there will be a relationship between whole and part is of a strongest type, in that case we will use a simple composition. I hope the concept is clear to you. Okay. So it is antisymmetric. That is, if A is a part of a B, then B is not part of A. That may be the possibility. That is what the relationship we have shown between the car and doors. So that part we can say. Now coming back to the next point, I'll share my screen. Just a second. There's a tab. Okay. So we are calling it as a is a part of relationship. Now one more example: document, paragraph, sentence. You can read out this. This is aggregations. The way it is representations. Filled diamond and hollow diamonds, that indicates assembly at the end of relationship. So might be you are getting different locations, but don't worry. In tool in upcoming practical side, we will see how actually it looks. So aggregation, remember, it is known as is a part of relationship, and that is a part of relationship is indicating you either strongest relationship or weakest. Aggregation is a weakest type, where composition is of a strongest type of relationship that will represent in the diagram sides. Now next type of relationship, we are calling it as one generalization relationship. Now generalization, it is known as is a type of relationship. Now what is meaning of is a type of relationship? We will take one more example to understand this. See here. I'll take one more window here, add a diagram. I will select a class diagram. See here. One class, I'm just representing here. Class name, I will show you balance. I just want to represent the balance. I have an account in bank and I want to know my balance. But I have two different types of account. One is saving account. Another one I will say as fixed deposit, FD account. And I have one more class, that is what my loan account. And it is going to represent you the account balance. See here, if I ask a bank person, that is what is my balance, what is my account balance. And just imagine he has responded, that is my balance is 1 lakh rupees. Just imagine, he's responded that my balance is of 1 lakh rupees. Balance is equal to Rs 1 lakh. But I'm confused. I don't know how my balances are is 1 lakh rupees. This is what my generalized statement. But I want to know how much amount there in my saving account, how much amount is there in my fixed deposit account, so that I can able to justify with this generalized statement. So you want to show the relationship between this and these different accounts. At that time you can take the help of one type of relationship called as one generalization. So it is known as is a relationship. It is a relationship between the base class and subclass. So base class I am representing here as a these different accounts, and these are the parts of these accounts. At that time I can use the relationship called as one generalization. So this is kind of generalization relationship. This will be my generalized statement that I have an account balance where my balance is 1 lakh rupees. See, this is my generalized statement. But if I say exactly I have having 50,000 rupees in my saving account, that will be a more specific answer. So we are calling it as one specialization. So reverse of generalization is specialization. Like we can represent as hierarchy. See, this is hierarchy, this is parent class, this is child class. I'm saying very specific. For example, Mr. Mukesh Ambani having balance of 2.5 crore rupees. So this will be a generalized statement. But if I say Mr. Ambani having 1 crore in his saving account, that will be a very specialized statement. So this is generalization, and the reverse back, we are calling it as one specialization. So this is a type of relationship. Remember this as a generalizations. Generalization means nothing but is a type of relationship. So aggregation relates particular instance. Two distinct objects are involved. One of them is a part of the other. So that you can remember here. Account balance, main, we can say that. And these are the parts. May not be presents. Loan. Suppose I don't have any loan, but you have an account over here, and these are the different parts. So we can represent is a part of relationship. This is sometimes referred as a and relationship or relationship. So this is nothing but kind of relationship. So simply remember, aggregate this as a generalization is a type of relationship, where aggregation is a part of relationship. Don't worry about this, because these diagrams are taken in different format. So remember the diagram which I have shown to you. Now next part, next type of again the relationship we are calling as what? Recursive aggregation. Now as the name suggests, recursive means again the repeatings. So aggregations can be fixed, variable, or recursive. Fixed aggregate has a fixed structure, means is a part. The number and the type of subparts are predefined. Whereas in case of variable aggregation, we have a finite number of level, but that number of parts may be vary. For example, in case of company, we will discuss it. And recursive aggregation contains directly or indirectly an instance of same kind of aggregate, where the number of potential level is unlimited, like computer program. We will see it in one simple example so that you can able to understand it. Again, simple statements. This is recursive aggregations. So what type of examples you are running over there, accordingly that we can represent the different relationships over here. So for example, I'll show you. See here. Again, I want to go for recursive association, means doors. So where I can specify exact numbers, I can able to give it. So you can add over here as aggregation. This is recursive, but doors part that I can represent in terms of multiplicity. That multiplicity I will write here. For example, car is having 4 doors. I can say as a 4, simple 4 doors. That number is reflected here. You can check it out, this number. So as a part of recursive, in program statement, simple program, simple block, choice, want to go for this, want to go for this, accordingly your cursor is going to get now in number of times, might be in your algorithms or it might be in your flow charts, some kind of automation process need to be bring out in database. Also you might have studied, we are calling it as what, trigger concept. Now what is meaning of this? If particular incidents happens, automatically other movements should be get added over here. For example, here I want to check my account balance. If saving account having 50,000 and bank has given interest rate of 6%, automatically my account balance will be increased after certain of particular amount. If 6% is the rate of interest given for saving account, then with respect to my account, the balance of account, saving account, should be increased automatically after a period of 3 months or maybe 6 months or maybe after 1 year, and that should be get reflected immediately. So we are calling that process as a part of your propagation of operations. Propagation means moving fast, triggering concepts. So automatically there should be an changes if you have defined one of the. So see, this is propagation of operations, moving from one part to another part. In case maybe generalization or maybe in case of specialization, we could able to check out this. So propagation can be possible for save, destroy, print, and lock options. So for what purpose you want to use? So basically, in case of database, we are calling it as what, triggering concepts. If rate of interest is increased, automatically your EMI value should be get increased. If that rate of interest is get decreased, automatically EMI value should be get decreased, like this. If I increase the number of number of EMIs, accordingly the values are going to get changed. So that once your database is fixed, if one of the value is going to get changed, how many other dependent values are there, that you need to check it out, and that you can represent with in terms of this propagation of operations. Now next, as the name suggests, abstract class. Previous lecture we have discussed what is abstraction, what is encapsulation, what is modularity, and what is hierarchy. So abstract class, as the name suggests, is a class that has no direct instance, but whose descendant class have direct instances. So this is just in a concrete class. It can have direct instances. So it may be a subclass or maybe having the different dependents. So that we will represent here. Just understand this. I'm representing one class, different classes, and their nodes. So for that, we can again take help of generalization, simple at that particular moments, to represent one particular class. Then overriding can be done with operations or maybe with respect to the elements. Accordingly, we will have extension, restrictions, then optimization and convenience. The new operation is the same inherited, except it adds some behavior usually affecting new attributes of the subclass. So you have a relationship between parent and their child. So that is extensions when you writing. The same as inherited. So you can take the properties of it's a super class or it's a base class to the child class. It comes as it is when we write this extend. A restriction means will be having some properties, but all properties may not be available. So some restrictions will be done from its a parent class to its a child class. This represents optimization. A new method must have same external protocols and result as the old one, but its internal representation and algorithm may differ completely. So we are calling it as what optimization. We will discuss this. Then next is convenience. A new class is made up of subclass of the existing class and it override methods that are inconvenient. This one is multiple inheritance. We'll check out it's a diagram. Inheritance you can represent in a different styles, maybe multi-level inheritance like parent, then child and their grandchild, like this. We are calling multi-level inheritance. One at a one single level having more than one class. So it permits to have more than one superclass to inherit features from all the parents. Class with more than one superclass is called joint class. A feature from the ancestor class found along more than one path directly inherited from that particular class. We'll see one more example to understand. See, when I says vehicle may be different types of vehicles are there. So see, this is काय म्हणू शकतो आपण, पाण्यावर चालणारे सुद्धा व्हेकल्स आहेत, देन जमिनीवर पण आहेत. त्याचे एक्झाम्पल्स बघू शकता. दिस इज जनरलायझेशन रिलेशनशिप. दिस इज सुपर क्लास. This is their parent class. These are their child classes. So, but this I'm representing as a joint class. More than properties of different classes. Though we are calling it as a simple vehicle, it may be having a properties of land vehicle and water vehicles. I'm just combine it to get the joint class. So multiple inheritance. Next is notation. Just now I have shown you a hollow rectangle indicates disjoint subclasses, while a solid triangle indicates overlapping subclasses. Now the next part is we are calling as a metadata. Metadata is what? Data of data. We are calling it as what? Metadata. That describes other data. Definition of the class is simple metadata, because class, ultimately what is class? Class is nothing but group of similar objects having some semantics together. So metadata represents simply data of other data. So how we can represent it? Maybe in terms of their classes. So simple abstract class is nothing but simple to understand the concept of metadata. So that class describes a set of instances of given form, and different instances relate to a class to its instance. Simply remember, dotted arrows connect to the instance to that particular class. It is also useful for the documenting example and test cases. See here. Notation for this is what my class named as a person, having different attributes like name, age, weight. This is particular instance of that class. So I'm calling simple as an object. Name is ABC, age is 40, weight is 50, and I have represented it with this simple notations for an instance. Dot dot line this, or sometimes it is referred to be as a dependency type of relationship. If this class is not present, then we can say instance. How to describe the class? For that we can use the class descriptors. Any doubts so far? Whatever the points I'm covering, I hope you all are getting it. See here, how we will read this class. This is class named as a window. What are the attributes? Size, visibility, default size. These are the attributes. These are the operations. So class is nothing but we can say simply these are the meta objects, not the real world objects. Maybe it represents something. So data of data, we call it as a meta objects. So class descriptor have a features and they have their own classes which are called as meta classes. Class attribute describes a value common to entire class of an object rather than data particular to each instance. So when I say as a class window, it represents here as a size for the rectangle. See here, simple rectangle. Size doesn't matter. The size like this length width, but it represents simple as a class. So this is what the class descriptor. Again, attributes. This is what the basic idea. Second part is what? Attributes. Attribute describes a value which are common to an entire class of objects rather than data particular to each instance. So this class attributes are useful for storing default information, for creating the new objects, or maybe for summary information about that particular instance of the class. Class operation is an operation on the class itself. The most common is to create the new instances. Operations on the class structures are called here. So this is class descriptor. Simply remember this, the diagram. This is from again database part what you have studied. Candidate keys is nothing but minimal set of attributes that uniquely identifies particular object. That is not only to the class, or it may be with a particular link also. That link means I am talking about the association also. So candidate keys here representing multiplicity also. Class may have one or more candidate key, each of which may have different combinations and number of attributes. This line is talking about your type of association. Simply remember. In UML, we will use this opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket to represent this candidate keys where we will write the numbers. Constraints, these are some kind of a limitations, that is restrictions. So there are functional relationship between the entities of an object model where each entity include object, class, attribute, link and association. So these are the basic things when you are going to complete the UML diagram part. Maybe a classes, different attributes and their relationship. So I'm calling this links and association simply as a relationship. And the way we are going to represent, maybe directly flow, indirectly flow, maybe by taking any type of relationship. We have to assume some, we have to limit some things that we are discussing as a part of a constraint. So it may be placed in terms of object model, or maybe in case of some complex functional model also. That part we will discuss. You can read out this constraints on particular objects. Salary of employee should not be greater than salary of boss. This is constraint, some kind of a restrictions. Again, to decide the window size, length and width, formulation of this length and width. If width is more than this or length is more than this, the proportions, not what we can say, propagation is going to get changed. So this kind of a restrictions we are going to take here. So this open curly bracket, close curly bracket, we are calling it simple notations that we are putting as in terms of candidate keys, some kind of a restrictions. This is general constraints. Must be expressed with a natural language or equations. Draw a dotted line between the classes involved in the constraint and specify the details with comments in the braille. Sorry. This is derived object, link and attribute. These all different types of relationship we will discuss during practicals. Just check out this. See here, we can use this link. I'm just showing you the sample. I'll create one more class here. See this as a simple class. I'll show you the sample class, and I'm just showing it with a link. No specific elements. So I'm just adding over here. Then I'm adding as a part of a connectors, where you can represent this different notations, whatever the points we have discussed so far. In the second part, we are discussing about grouping constructs. Now we can just understand grouping construct means nothing but simply whatever the project you have, that project divided into different packages. How you are going to organize that package, we are calling as what grouping constructs. जसं आपण म्हणू शकतो नोटबुक आहे, 200 पेजची नोटबुक आहे. तर तुम्ही काय करता, फर्स्ट युनिट, सेकंड युनिट, थर्ड युनिट आणि त्याचा एक इंडेक्स क्रिएट करता आणि त्या इंडेक्सनुसार सांगता कुठली गोष्ट कुठे आहे, कुठल्या पेजवर कुठली गोष्ट चालू होती. एखाद्या बुकचं एक्झाम्पल घेतला म्हणजे काय करतो आपण, ते एका प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर मध्ये आणतो. दॅट इज नथिंग बट द सेम कन्सेप्ट रिलेटेड टू द प्रोजेक्ट. We are calling as what grouping construct. So that can be done either in terms of a module or with the help of a sheet. So module, nothing but the parts. These are the logical parts of your project. We are calling them as what modules. मग आपण मॉड्यूल्स वेगवेगळे तयार करू शकतो आणि त्या मॉड्यूल्स मध्ये आपण काही रिलेशनशिप डिफाइन करून ते मॉड्यूल आपण रिप्रेझेंट करू शकतो, किंवा डायरेक्टली वी कॅन रिप्रेझेंट इट इन टर्म्स ऑफ अ सिंपल पॅकेज. So discuss about the sheet concept. Sheet is a single printed page. It is a mechanism for breaking large object model. जसं एखादी कॉम्प्लेक्स डायग्राम असेल ते आपण काय करतो, छोट्या वेगवेगळ्या पार्ट्स मध्ये डिवाइड करतो. आधी ते छोटे पार्ट समजून घेतो आणि मग फायनल मॉड्यूल आपण रिप्रेझेंट करतो. सेम कन्सेप्ट इज देअर while we are grouping in terms of either maybe in module or maybe in terms of sheets. So module is simple logical construct for grouping classes, association and generalization, where an object model consists of more or one module depending on type or depending on size also, or volume. We can, different factors are there, complexity factor is also there. So what type of a project you are dealing, accordingly that you can decide this. So an object model consists of one or more modules. The module name is usually listed at the top of each sheet. Metadata, just now part that we have discussed. Okay. Any doubts so far? Yes. Any doubt, whatever the part I have covered so far, please let me know, or else we'll continue for the next part. Yes, any doubt there? Okay. Now only one part is remaining from first unit. So that part we will discuss in next lecture.